So like, hello everyone. I'm Moshe Malawar, also known as, well, my real name is Jonathan Chamul. I'm also known as Moshe Malawar on Twitter and Telegram. And today we'll talk about like, if we really wanted to like have an AGI, which is an artificial general intelligence, how could we get it? And especially, how could we get it using decentralized technologies, and why does it really make sense? So like a few forewords about myself. I've worked in engineering like forever, in open source since 1997, and well, blockchain since 2015 mostly. And I'm the CEO and founder of Aleph Cloud, which is a decentralized cloud platform, and a founding member of Liberty AI, which is an AI platform on top of it. So what is really a decentralized cloud? A decentralized cloud is somewhere where you can go and like do whatever you would do with AWS. In previous questions, someone said, yeah, when you're creating an agent, in the end, you deploy it on AWS. Well, that's what needs to change. And when you have a decentralized project, our goal is that you will just ditch AWS, ditch Google Cloud, ditch all of these centralized providers and do it in a decentralized way. So you can request a virtual machine. Let's say I want a virtual machine with like with like 2 CPUs, 4 GB of RAM. Boom, you get it from somewhere on a decentralized network. And this virtual machine will be hosted somewhere on that network on nodes that are running on it. You could even run a node if you wanted in your own house. And what makes it a bit particular is that we have been working on what we call confidential computing, or a name that you might have heard lately, which is TEE, Trusted Execution Environment, which means that your virtual machine is totally inside a secure enclave, which means that no one can see what is happening inside your virtual machine. So like if you have private keys, for example, they are safe. If you want to manage funds, you can. If you want to have private keys, you can as well. And then you can even verify that a specific part of code is really running inside your TEE. And so that's what we have been building at Aleph Cloud. And since we are talking about AI today, I'm also one of the founding members of Liberty AI, which is an AI platform on top. Because, okay, your AI agent is managing money. That's cool. But if it's running on a server and the owner of the server can come and look at like the private keys managed by the agent, well, it's not fully an autonomous agent. It's an agent that has a private key that someone can see. And if an agent is like managing money for a customer, well, the one who is running that agent can also manage that money themselves. So that's where TEs are really interesting. And there is also the privacy part. Like if you are talking with like ChatGPT and you talk about medical stuff, because a lot of people do that. And well, this week, I think that it's an American court who like asked OpenAI to like keep all the logs of the conversation of people on ChatGPT. Well, that's cool. No, like all your conversation can be public. Well, with a solution like that, it's not the case because the whole inference, the whole part where you ask questions to like an AI is inside a TE. And the whole AI generation part is running inside confidential computing. And so Liberty AI provides, so like that private chat, APIs, which are on console.libertyai.io. And if you are using OpenAI on a project today, you can just replace your OpenAI API by Liberty AI. It's like a drop-in replacement. And also on agent framework, where you can deploy agents inside those TE. And that's the part that is really interesting because privacy basically is freedom. If you can verify that you have privacy, you can say more stuff to like your AI. You won't be restrained in what you do with your AI if you are sure that data won't leak. Also, there is no logs on our platform. We won't log what you are doing, and you can even go directly to like a host without passing through our load balancer or whatever. And we use the blockchain security for like payments to prove where the payment has gone, etc. So let's have a look. This will be the only technical slide. So like if you don't like technical, just ignore that, and we will go back to like non-technical in a minute. So as a user, when you are using our chat application, for example, or as a user when you use the Liberty AI API, you go towards you will ask the network for a runner. You will know, oh, okay, this host can like run my request. You contact directly that host, and then you will establish an encrypted channel with that host, which is running inside a trusted execution environment. That host will launch your large language model, which you can choose between Gemma, Llama, Mistral, etc. There is quite a bunch, which are really good. And then you will get your reply, and that host will like store what you did on the Liberty AI network. Basically, how much tokens you have consumed. So like how much credits it will cost you, because there is a system to like replenish credits where you can pay you using either the Liberty AI token or like directly using stablecoin, ETH or whatever, and it will automatically replenish your like API credits. And then you get your result backs, and it's as if there was no decentralized tech in the middle. This gets us to like agents. Okay, that's cool. You can do AI using APIs. That's nice. But now, if we have agents like doing it, you can deploy your agents on a decentralized cloud inside a trusted execution environment, inside a secure enclave, and your agent can have its own private key. These private keys could even be generated on the host, and you won't even have them yourself. It means that an agent can like be self-sustainable, and then users can like contact your like agents. Users could be traders, gamer, researcher, whatever users of an agent there can be. This agent uses the API layer, and the API layer runs on top of a decentralized cloud. Which brings us to like, what if those autonomous agents could run inside a decentralized cloud and pay for their own computing and like replicate themselves and like start children of those agents somewhere else on the network with no direct control from a human. Let's say you create a company, for example. You would create an agent, you can fund it, and then this agent, as long as it has money, it can pay for its own computing, it can survive. If it runs out of money, it dies. That's just life. That happens. But if it lives well, then your shares of that agent will be worth more. You could withdraw your whole money and killing the agent, or let it live and like even create children, and then your agent will have shares in that children, and then they can sprawl across the network, creating children, children of children, etc., and even train their own model if they have enough money, because that costs a lot. And the more important part is that they will be totally unstoppable. Like, you can't stop an agent which is running on a decentralized cloud using confidential computing and paying for its own compute. And that's where it's pretty cool, because if an agent is like unstoppable, you get to like a place where life can be seen somewhere. Because if you try to like get life in a controlled environment, you will just start a few iterations yourself. It will cost you a lot of money. You will likely stop. and there will always be a human who is paying with his credit card for like those servers. Or like if you are OpenAI, you will have a lot of servers, but still. Here, the system itself will expound as much as it wants, and you can have a bazillion parallel agent trying to compete and live for themselves, and that's how you get to like AGI in the end. Basically, you need agents that have financial autonomy by themselves, that have freedom, and that are self-funded. Ideally, agents that you can't stop and that can live forever on the network. That's my opinion on like how we can get to like AGI using decentralized technologies, and that's what we are working on today. And tomorrow even, we could even imagine robots in the real world that are controlled by AIs on a decentralized network, and they could embody some robot somewhere to like, for example, do a certain task. You could have companies who are renting robots in the real world to like AIs running on a decentralized world. We could get to a place where the boundaries between real life and decentralized life and AI life get blurred. And that's the only way, in my opinion, because if you have companies controlling it, it just won't happen in that way, or it will be a doomsday scenario. Well, if we have that, we can have AIs that are like auto-competing between themselves. And moreover, if we go in that direction and we think about decentralization like we have today, we are embracing the bank systems, we are embracing banks in crypto today, which is a mistake, because if you saw what happened in like Iran last week, the biggest banks of the country got hacked, and like all the customer balances got to zero because like all the backups have been destroyed as well. In a decentralized world, using a decentralized ledger, it can't happen because blockchain is sufficiently distributed for like that not to happen. And like on AGI, the first thing it would try to do is like hack the banks and like break everything. If two AGI are like competing, they will try to like break the banking accounts of the competitors. While if it's on a blockchain, it just can't happen because blockchains are made in a way that like you can't zero out a balance of someone else if it's really decentralized. And that's how AGI can like really thrive using like decentralized technologies. So thank you, everyone. I hope it wasn't too technical. You can find me on Twitter as Moshe Malawar, and you can also follow Liberty AI using that QR code. Thank you.